When I first considered making a YouTube channel, this wanted to be one of the very first videos I wanted to do. But it's such an emotional topic for me because so many people in my life don't believe this actually happens to me. Excuse me, happened to me. So September 4th, 2008, a relative that I was extremely close with at the time came to visit because at that time she lived in a different state. So at that time we lived in two different states. But we were thick as thieves. Like, we were born cousins. But if you didn't know that we were cousins, you would think that we were sisters. So anyway, it was her birthday. She had a babysitter for her kids. We had convinced the lady that gave birth to me. At that time, I still consider her my mother. But after this incident, our relationship shattered. So at that time, I convinced my birth giver, which she never really used to want to watch my kids. Which is understandable because they weren't hers, they were mine. But for some odd reason, this day, she was willing to watch my kids. That was the first red flag for me. But I didn't think nothing of it. So we're sitting there trying to figure out what to do. So somehow, her and my birth giver's daughter, they figured out a plan. Hey, they wanted to go to my ex's house. Now, my birth giver's daughter and my ex were really close. Like, like in a lot of relationships, the man or the female gets attached to a sibling. And even, sometimes even after they break up, they stay close or whatever. Now, mind you, I have not dealt with this ex. Nothing more than, friendly conversations for about 2 years now. So, I don't want to go. I'm telling them I don't want to go. I'll do anything else, but I don't want to do this. Push came to shove, and I ended up going to this ex's house. Now, mind you, they drinking, having fun, turning it up. Me, I'm just sitting there. I didn't drink. I didn't smoke any cigarettes, nothing. Like, I didn't do anything because I did not want to be there. So I sat. We were all chilling in his bedroom. Not the living room. I don't know why not, but we all were chilling in his bedroom. I sat at the corner of the bed. I kept trying to engage. Everybody kept trying to, make me engage. I didn't want to be there, so I didn't do anything. And anybody who knows me knows I'm the life of the party. Like, I like to get down. I like to party. There's nothing wrong with that. So now I'm pretty much keep asking them, go home, go home, go home, go home, go home. So fast forward, we go back to my house. We go back to my house. Now either he dropped us off or he rode with us there. I don't know. I forgot how that part went. But so gets back to my house. This man starts losing his mind. Well, this boy starts losing his mind. He's telling everybody he's not leaving. He's not going home without me. He's hiding under coffee tables. He's jumping in windows. He's doing a lot of crazy shit. This was going on for about an hour and a half. So to defuse the situation, even though I did not want to, I said I'll go back. So me, and my cousin, the dude, and the dude's best friend, which is also a really good friend of mine, and my cousin ex. That's my cousin's ex also. So me and my cousin are in the car with our exes going back to my ex's house. So my cousin and her ex are in the living room. Me and my ex are in his room. No, I'm sorry. We were all in the living room at first. So I'm sitting there, very nonchalant, because as I told y'all, I didn't want to be there. So I'm not playing with him. I'm not doing nothing. I'm not laughing. I'm not joking. I'm not doing none of that. So at this point, this boy's heavily intoxicated. And mind you, I told you I was sober. I didn't do anything. So he goes in his room and he starts playing dress up. Like, he starts going and changing outfits and modeling them in front of me, giving me lap dances, like, really, really trying to get me to, loosen up. Now we fast forward. My cousin and her dude, her ex, wanna do what they do. So I agreed to go in dude's room and sit. Nothing else but sit. So we're sitting, he's talking. I'm pretty much just answering whatever just to get him out of my face and leave me alone. Next thing you know, grabs me. He grabs me and pushes me on the bed. And so I'm telling him, stop, don't touch me, get off of me. So we're tussling. And he proceeds to get on top of me and start to penetrate me. I'm telling him, stop, leave me alone. Leave me alone. I don't want to do this. Leave me alone. But he's going and going and going. So I lay there. And just let him do it. He kept doing it till he fell asleep. But because he was drunk, his dead weight was on top of me. So I couldn't push him off. So when I noticed his weight started to be less heavy, I started to wiggle myself from under him. So he's like, don't effing move. Don't effing move. Why are you moving? Stop moving. I'm sleeping. Stop moving. So he finally wakes up and he gets off of me. So I proceeds to grab my clothes and he tries to grab me. I tried to go for the door. He jumps over the bed and stands in front of the door. So I had nowhere to go. I'm banging on the walls. I'm screaming. Nobody's coming. So he pulls me into the closet. And there was like an L-shaped bench attached. I want to call it a shelf. but it might have been a bench. It's an L shape across, the closet. So he put me in the corner and he grabbed me on my throat and he proceeds to penetrate me again. And I'm telling him to stop and he would not stop. So I'm banging on the wall. This is my first time ever being to this apartment. So I'm thinking, if I bang on this wall, this should be the living room where my cousin is laying. So I'm banging on the wall, banging on the wall, banging on the wall. Nobody hears me. So I start kicking my foot on the floor because I knew a friend of ours, in front of everybody that was in the house, actually, I knew that he lived downstairs, so I'm thinking hopefully he hears all the noise and he, comes upstairs to see what's going on. He never came. So he proceeds to throw me on the floor. And he's still doing what he's doing to me. And I'm trying to scoot away. So I end up in, I want to say the sunroof, the porch, whatever you want to call it, but we were on the second floor. So I seen that the window to the porch was open. So I started banging again because I hear a bus outside. And I knew that our friend had to put his son on that bus. So I'm banging on the ceiling. I'm screaming, help. I'm screaming, help me. He's taking his dirty underwear, putting his underwear in my mouth, putting his dirty socks in my mouth so nobody can hear him doing what he's doing to me. He's still doing what he's doing. He's telling me to shut up. He's choking me. He's slapping me. And mind you, this was a person I was in love with. We were in love with each other. This is a person that if you knew me from the year 2001 to then, until I met my current boyfriend, you would have thought I would never get over this boy. And when I finally got him to stop, I got my clothes. I left the bedroom door open. I left the front door open to his apartment. I left the front door downstairs open. I left my cousin there and everything. Because at that point, I felt alone in the world. I felt alone. I was hurt and heartbroken. So, I started to walk towards the police station. And I run into my grandfather and my uncle. Mind you, it's early in the morning. It's like 7 a.m. So my grandfather and my uncle, they're smiling happy to see me. Anytime my grandfather and my uncle, they see me, they're happy to see me. So, I'm talking to them, and I'm trying my hardest. I'm trying my hardest not to cry. But everything in me is telling me to tell your grandfather. Tell them But I couldn't do it. Because in my head, I'm like, if I tell them this, and they go around this corner and do something to this boy, my family will never forgive me. So I didn't go towards the police station. I went home to where I was supposed to feel safe. But I was supposed to feel secure and loved no matter what. So I came home and I tell my birth giver and her daughter what happened. So at first their reactions was like they cared. They they went and they called the boy and they asked him, did he do it? And he told them no. And this is why I don't deal with them. Because they took his side. When he told them that he did not do what he did to me, they believed him and took his side. Which led to 2 months later, him coming to my house. He came to my room. My room was in the attic of our house, by the way. So he came all the way to the 3rd floor of our house. Him and another mutual friend that we had, which also happened to be kind of like my relative because his nieces and nephews are my cousins. Excuse me. But they're also more so like my nieces and nephews. So he's sitting there. Now he knows me very well. Because like I said, we're pretty much like family. And so he peeps that something's wrong. So the boy tells him to go downstairs. And so in his mind, he's thinking that, oh, we're about to do the do. Now I'm telling him, take your friend back downstairs with you. Don't leave him here with me. Take him with you. So he's thinking I'm joking. He's laughing it off. So he left me in my room with this fool. But he didn't know. So he proceeds. Hey, everybody, I had to, get myself together to be able to finish this video. Because that was, it was hard to talk about. So, as I was saying, he got rid of his friend. So his friend downstairs, the rest of my family members. So he then proceeds to throw me on my bed, take my clothes off, I'm telling him to stop. He gets on top of me and starts kissing me and tells me, you can't do nothing. It's nothing you can do. Now, mind you, I hear my kids coming up the stairs and going in their room. Their room is literally on the opposite wall of my room, where my bed was at the time. was really on the opposite side of the wall from where their toys are. So I knew that they had come upstairs to get toys and take it downstairs so they could play with them. So I laid there and I let him do what he needed to do. I didn't say nothing. I didn't try to fight him off. I didn't do none of that. I just laid there, hoping and praying he would be done. And in my head, I'm like, why did I do this? Because not once but twice. How can this be done to me in my own home? How could the people in my household allow this boy to be around me after I just literally said and told y'all he raped me 2 months ago? So he did what he did. Finished. He told me he'd see me later. So we fast forward. That was in 2008. Both of those incidents happened in 2008. The first was September 4th, 2008. The next one was November 26th, 2008. So now we fast forward to January of 2015. Now from November of 2008 to 2015, this boy was allowed to come in and out of my house, go in any rooms of my house that he wanted to. He was allowed to do whatever he wanted. So for all those years, he would come in my room, he would rub on my leg, and he would tell me he loved me, he missed me. I would never forget, it was the 4th of July. And he stood in my doorway, antagonizing me, telling me he was going to come back and see me later. Mind you, his girlfriend was at the bottom of the stairs, calling him. And he ignored her to do what he wanted to me. She never came up the stairs to see him or to get him. So here we are, January 2015. Now, at the time, I was pregnant. And I was undecided on, whether I wanted to keep my baby or not. I had just lost my grandmother a few months before, so, I was undecided. So, he starts antagonizing me again, telling me he loves me, yada yada. March comes around. I decide I'm gonna keep my baby. So one night he was calling my house phone to speak with my birth giver's daughter. Now, I didn't know his number, so I didn't know who it was. So I answered thinking it was for me. So he gets excited. He tells me he's outside the house. He can tell my room light's not on. Am I alone? How he's gonna go downstairs and be with my birth giver's daughter, then he's gonna come upstairs and spend time with me. So at that point in time, Bobby can't be fighting. Because here it is, it had been a while since he had did what he did. And in my head, I'm thinking, please let this just all be talk. Please don't really come up here. So he comes upstairs and he's banging on my door, and I'm ignoring it. So then he calls the house phone at the same time. And then he starts to say, I know you're in there, open the door. Now, I out of fear from waking up my kids, I opened the door. We were talking. Once he closed that door and locked it, I knew I was he proceeded to rape me again. And then he stood there. Well, no, he laid there next to me first, holding me, hugging me, telling me how he wished I had my own place. He would move in with me and my children. He would help me pay all the bills. We got up. He looked at the TV and watched it for a few minutes, and then he looked at me and said, I loved you. I love you. I will never stop loving you. I am the man I am today because of you. So I asked him, why did you do it? Why did you rape me? He looked at me and he said, because you told me no. You've always told me yes. You told me no and I didn't like it. And I cried. And he left. And then I ended up having a miscarriage. My baby. Memorial. I just decided it's time to put my fear to the side and tell my story. Hoping this can help somebody in any way possible.